minute or so before 1. Just let me know if you can hear me and see me in the chat box. Awesome. And thank you everyone for being here today on this webinar on Q&A. Just us chatting. Shelby, perfect. Tracy, yes, awesome, good. Hope everyone is doing well on this. For us here, it's a beautiful sunny day. So no snow, clear sky, a little cold, but not complaining when the sun is out. So hope everybody else is having a good day and kind of happy it's Friday. Hope everyone's doing well wherever they are with the pandemic. You know, hope everyone and their families safe and well. Good morning, Teresa. So it's morning for you. Where are you from, Teresa? Remind me. I don't know if you were in other webinars, but for me, it's afternoon. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon for me. Alberta. Okay, awesome. Yes, you are behind in time. Welcome. So we have quite a good attendee today for the Q&A. So I'm gonna wait another minute or so to let more people join in. I have prepared. Oh, just outside of Calgary. Okay. So how's the weather there? So I have prepared a presentation. Usually I don't do that for Q&As, but I did because I had people send me some questions. So I put them on the slide. And also, as you can see that it says, it's beautiful. Awesome. So it's here. So it's the same here. It's 12 p.m. here in Saskatchewan and super gloomy. You're having a rain. Was it last week where it snowed? And then the next day it rained heavily, but then it got rid of the snow. So it was a little gloomy that day, but today's full sun, clear sky, just a little chilly, a little. So welcome, Shelby from Saskatchewan too. So yeah, so as you can see with the presentation, it says what's new. So it's good for me because on my other webinars it's a little too much to explain everything because we're doing a demo, we're doing the theory like presentation. So here I'm gonna just go over some of the new products that we have. So Denver, Colorado, welcome Susie from Denver. So we're still having more, I can see more people coming in. So it's awesome. So in about a minute, I'll start the presentation from Newfoundland, Canada. It's 2:30. Oh yeah, you're ahead. So you're about an hour and so ahead. So welcome, Ashley. Alonso, Manitoba. Alonsa, Manitoba. Bonnie, hello, Bonnie. And then Marilee, that name, I remember that name. You're from Norway and it's crazy snow here. Oh, it's weird because here in Canada, we get a lot of snow, but it's like, looks like spring outside if it wasn't the cold. Andrea from New Orleans. Andrew from Toronto. Andrew, I remember that name too. There's some names that I can remember. Palm Desert, California. Oh, that's nice. 10 a.m. Oh, welcome on this 10 a.m. morning. Thank you for being here. BC, 10 a.m. to BC. Yes, you're 3 hours behind. Beautiful and sunny. Halliburton. Rita from Omaha, Nebraska. Oh, there's 2 Ritas. And Rita from Portugal. Welcome, Rita from Portugal. My dream is to go to Portugal. I really wanted to go. So welcome, welcome, welcome. One day when the pandemic is, you know, much safer to travel, for sure, for sure. Hi from Philadelphia. I've been to Philadelphia. Good thing about the work that I have. Newfoundland, I would love to go. Welcome, Darlene. Tracy from Prince Edward Island. That's another place I would really, really like to go. There's a story I always tell. My mom really wanted to move to Prince Edward Island. She had friends and really liked how it looked there. And I wasn't too young, but it wasn't much like in my teens yet. And we didn't want to move because, you know, your school and this, you don't want to lose your friends. But my mom said, you know, in Prince Edward Island, a lot of land, so we can get you a horse. And my dream was always to have a horse. So I was like, forget friends, I'm going to get a horse. So we never ended up moving to Prince Edward Island. So that's my little story for Prince Edward Island. So, but it's beautiful. See, I have a lot of places I would love to visit. Yeah. Hopefully when See, I wasn't much of a traveler before because I didn't really like flying. I had a fear of flying, but with the work that I do, it was mandatory. So I've learned to manage my fear. I'm still scared, but I manage it. But now I want to visit all these beautiful countries, and even within Canada, all our beautiful provinces. Hello, Sandra from Mississauga. Mississauga is my teaching ground. I always go to Mississauga to help out and teach. So that area, I know. So welcome, Sandra. Okay, so give me your shout out still. I don't mind. At 1:05, I'm going to start the presentation. So if you have any more shout outs, send them out. I really, really appreciate your time here with me to chill. I'm actually thinking, wouldn't it be great to actually do lives so I can see you guys? Hello, Shannon. Welcome, welcome, Shannon. Do you have a lot of snow where you are still? I was actually thinking of doing not enough. I know. See, this winter. Or are you joking? Wait, are you joking or are you being sarcastic? So anyway, so I was going to say, I was actually thinking of doing these like live because, not joking. Shannon, you kill me. Because I would love to be able to interact with you guys like live, and as well be able to invite some of you professionals on to chat with me as well. You know how you can share. I haven't really done a live yet, and I really want to do one. So it would be nice that, you know, I can, if you want to join one time with me, we can chat. Everybody can be watching. I can bring on different people, and we can just talk about RefectoCil, about the industry, about COVID, anything. And I think that would be really nice. Gets me to get to know you guys as well, very well. Through the Zoom, I've gotten to know a lot of you because you've been great supporters. So I really, really appreciate that a lot. Live would be cool, but nothing to see here. See, like with the live, what I like about the live is that you share, like you can share the screen with another professional or so forth, and we can share in our insight and help each other out in this industry, right? We're a community. So it's really, really nice. And this way I can also showcase new stuff with RefectoCil and so forth. And I feel like it might be easier to get people to also attend then. So with that note, once again, welcome. For anybody that's new to the webinar or doesn't know me, I'll do a little brief introduction. So my name is Chrissie, and I am the North America lead trainer for RefectoCil. So I do all the webinars, if you've seen any past ones. And when we were able to teach in-house, I was visiting distributor schools. We were doing trade shows, which I kind of miss trade shows because I got to meet a lot of you beauty professionals, a lot of you guys at trade shows, and continue that community, like build up that community. So I do miss trade shows. So hopefully when that resumes, I get to see you guys in person. But that's what I do. And I have a real passion for RefectoCil. I love RefectoCil, and I love to share that passion with all of you guys. Okay. So on that note, as I mentioned, I did do a presentation, you know me with my presentations. So I want to show first, and if you have questions, by all means, shout them out. Not shout them out, type them out. But I wanted to go first with what's new, because this is a really good opportunity now to let you know what we brought in, what we've changed. So the very important thing, as you can see on this slide, is the glue. So prior to any of the kits that you're using or you purchase, it was a clear glue. So it's going to be hard to see in the camera, but it's clear. Okay. But now we've changed the glue to a more peachy hue. It's kind of hard to tell on the camera, but if I put them side by side, maybe that will help. One's darker, one's lighter. So if you remember from my past webinars, the clear glue was giving a lot of you guys issues, right? Because it's a glue that dissolves pretty quickly. Like you had no issues with the removal of the glue, right? Because it dissolved. But what was happening is that when you put the solution, the Lash Perm solution, all the lashes would pop off. Now, if there was a couple of lashes that popped off, you just remove that section, dry it up, put more glue and put it down. But what was happening is that the whole row of lashes were popping off, and people were getting frustrated because it shouldn't do that. So I started teaching that you can do that little bit of security with the glue. So after you're done rolling the lashes, you put and with this glue, the old glue, you had to wait till it got tacky. Remember, you had to like wait that 10 to 15 seconds for it to get tacky, because if you used it right away, it would start to, it wouldn't work because it's still wet. So your lashes will pop off, your pads would pop off. It'd be a hot mess. So I would teach to put a security part on your tip of your lashes, because on the tip of the lashes, we don't put any solution, right? And then we would put it there and we would know that those lashes would stay down throughout the whole service. But then you had new growth. You had lashes that couldn't reach the tip. So we had to put some glue, dab it on the center of the lashes. So that's what you had to do with this glue, which was an added step. But once you perfected it, it was so easy to do. But now with the new glue, which is made out of shellac, as you can see in the presentation here, it's a natural substance. That's why it gives this characteristic of this color, the peachy color. And you don't, the adhesive of this glue has been enforced, meaning it's going to be stronger, okay? Still keeping your lashes safe. It's just going to be stronger, which means you don't need to put that security deposit because it's going to hold and it's not going to dissolve as fast when you put the Lash Perm solution. The other thing is that it dries way faster than the old glue. So these are tips that you'll know, because this new glue is circulating. So when you go do your refill, you're going to be getting the new peachy glue. There's no more of the old stock, depending if the distributor still has any left. So it dries really fast. So as soon as you apply it on and you close the cap, make sure that you close all the caps right away. Don't leave them until after you're applying it. Close them right away. So after you're done closing it, you can go right away and start working those lashes or putting that pad onto the eyelid. You don't have to wait that 10 to 15 seconds. If you do, it's dried out and it won't work. So that's why it's very important in the part that it says work in 3 sections. Usually when you see me do the webinar, I just put the glue all over the pad and I have enough time to roll all the lashes. But now with the new glue, you won't have time. So it's very nice to work it in 3 sections. And a lot of you were doing that to begin with because you want to get those lashes nice and straight and you want to spend your time. That's the most time you're going to spend on your client, is getting those lashes to be nice and straight and separated onto the pad. So now with the new glue, you're going to have to work in 3 sections: outer, center to inner, and roll. Now, the same thing will happen like the old glue, where if you overwork it, it dries out and then you get stringy. So just re-wet it with the glue, but make sure you're not putting too much glue, because it's a stronger glue now. You don't want to start piling on that glue and then it becomes a barrier to the solution. Okay. So when you see it getting stringy, make it wet again with the glue, very little, because if you don't, that section, all of it, that first section that you worked and it became stringy and dry, it's just going to pop off. Okay. So those are the tips for the glues. And it says, and the second last bullet, it says apply Lash Perm. When you apply the Lash Perm, you don't need to wait until the glue has dried, because it dries so fast. You don't need to wait to put the Lash Perm. You can go ahead and put it right away. Okay. And then the last bullet, if lashes come loose because of tear fluid, dry the lashes first and then reapply the glue, because if they were tearing and it got wet, those lashes would start to lift. So you want to dry it fast, like dry it with a Q-tip and then put glue and then put the solution back on if it's during the solution, or if it's after your 8 minutes is done and you need to re-glue down any of those lashes that popped off just because of tear fluid. Okay. In general, the lashes should not pop off because how much stronger the glue is now. Okay. Any questions on this slide before I proceed to this next slide? Hopefully everybody understands the glues, and maybe some of you are already using the new glues. If you are, shoot me a thumbs up or tell me if you are using the new glue. Okay. And how you're finding it. If there's anything else I can help. Okay. The next thing is our eye care pads. I'm not sure if you've seen these on any of our social posts, but they come in a box like this of 10 of them. So when you open it up, you have the individual packages inside. I'm struggling to open this one. Just give me 1 sec. I don't want to rip it. Then you have your individual packages, right? Really good to put into the fridge for a little bit to get a little bit cold, so that when you put these, so these eye care pads can be retail. You can sell to your clients, but you can use them to elevate your services. So if you have registered for my webinar on the 15th of March, we're going to see how to utilize these during your lash lift service or any service you do. So as you can see, the trend, we see that these fleece and gel pad masks for the face and eyes have become a major trend. But now we want to see how we can put this within our service. So the product, the new RefectoCil eye care pads, help you to take lash styling by RefectoCil to the next level and turn your treatment into a special experience with wellness factor and the premium service for clients. So you're going to enhance, you're going to elevate that lash service by adding this eye care pad. You're giving them an eye care treatment, okay? So it functions as an intensive mask during any of the services you're doing. It could be during a tinting, it could be during a brow lamination, even for the males. If you're doing a brow tinting or a beard tinting, you can add these on too, okay, onto their eye treatment. So it's as the last part says, eye care pads can also be used to offer a special add-on treatment for all other by RefectoCil treatments, as I mentioned, okay? So let's look at the next slide so that you can just see why is this product special and nice to use for your clients. Well, it's got hyaluron and highly concentrated aloe vera and vitamin E. So you know you're going to have a nice, like even with the vitamin E, like depuffing, and you're also going to have intense moisture going on for your clients. So say, you know, your brow lamination takes 30 to 40 minutes. That 30 to 40 minutes, they're getting an eye treatment and they're going to love it. And that cooling effect when you put it in the fridge feels so good. Allantoin, it helps skin smoothing. So that's going to help a little bit with any of the like fine lines. Innovative gel pad technology. So it gives you a refreshing effect as well. And then it protects the eye area during lash and brow styling. So when you're tinting and so forth. Okay, so you can see the different services: lash styling when you're tinting, lash lifting when you're lifting the lashes, brow styling when you're tinting the brows, or when you're lifting the brows for home use. So it'll be a really good retail product for you to carry. Okay, any questions on these? I've used them. I put them in the fridge and then I put them on if I'm doing some work or whatever from home. I put them and they feel so good, and they've actually really helped to smooth out any fine wrinkles that I have. Okay, so as I mentioned, it comes into a box like this of 10. Search with your local distributor, let them know that you're interested in this, because the more people will let them know they're interested, the more they'll bring it in and carry the full line for you guys to access these products. Okay, so once again, if you have any questions on this, ask. Okay, let me know. Rajeshri, if I'm saying that right, welcome from Hanover, Ontario. Thank you for joining us today. So we're just talking about products, what's new. We talked about the new glue. There'll be a recording so you can watch this. And then we're talking about these these eye care pads that you're going to give a wonderful service of moisture, intense moisture, like a mask treatment to your client's eyes while you're giving them a lash or brow styling service. So you're going to enhance your services and elevate your services. So obviously, if you're going to add a little bit of a fee to it, some people might not. They'll be like, you know what? I want to make sure my customer is loyal and stays with me and they refer me to other people. I'm going to add this on. Okay. I'm going to add this on, no extra charge. Okay. And that will also encourage them by feeling it on them. They will be buying it, right? You can make it a good retail item, suggest this retail item if they enjoyed it. So Teresa has a question. What is the difference between the lift and the perm? Okay, so what is the difference in lift between the lift? Okay, what is the difference between the lift and the curl? So we don't call it perm anymore. We call it curl. So the difference is in the shapes it's going to create. So if you know, the lift has the silicone pads. So, and then the curl has the cotton rollers, okay? So the cotton rollers are circumference, and they have a circumference. So the hair is going to wrap around halfway of that roller. And when you see it, see the hair wraps around like this to a C shape. So it's going to create a shape, a more defined structured shape of a C curl, okay? That roundness. But when you're thinking about a lift, just by the name, it's telling you that it's going to lift. So those lashes are going to look longer. Just even when you do a brow lamination, you see that when you lift the brows, they're longer. They're adding width, right? So with the lashes, it's going to add length. So that's the difference that you have to discuss with your client. I always suggest carrying both services, carrying both kits or both components are very important because each one caters to a different clientele. The lift for sure you're going to make more use out of it because that is the service that's so popular. People are giving a break from lash extensions and they're going into doing a natural way and doing lifts when they want to give a break to the lash extensions. So they're going to have that nice length. Okay, you're welcome. And then the curl, because sometimes you have really short lashes, like really short lashes that the lift can't do it, the pad, you're going to go for the curl. You're not going to turn that client away. You're going to still figure out what you can do to shape their lashes, and you're going to suggest the curl. And then for male clientele, if you want to give them that subtle but lifted look, you can do a curl for them. Excuse me. And really long lashes, if they don't really want that dramatic look, like myself, if I don't really want that dramatic look in my lashes, I would do a curl. Okay. So a good way to market both. But if this is your first time trying to order or trying to do the service, you're going to first purchase, I'd be honest with the professionals, buy the lift first. The lift first, because that's what you're going to hear people wanting to get done. And then you're going to learn how to integrate into your services, your curl for those other specific clients. Okay. Awesome. So you're welcome, Teresa. I'm glad that answered it. So another really cool, I forgot to bring that here. A really other cool product is the lifter. So the need. Performing lash styling services or any eye service requires a high amount of attention to detail, concentration, and skills. So especially if we're doing the lash lift, that detail in the lashes to separate those lashes and to get them to be straight and nice and straight up on the pad, that's detail, and you need a tool that can help you do that. And there is a variety of tool, but the nice thing about this tool is that it allows professionals to work in a precise manner. So you're getting precise those lashes to separate, and the tool is pointy. I'll grab one and I'll show it to you. And also don't forget, dealing with the pandemic and so forth, hygiene is very important, but your disinfection is very important too. So this tool, the end that you're going to use to lift the lashes and separate the lashes is a stainless steel part. So the whole tool can be disinfected and reused on your clients because it's hard plastic and it has a stainless steel component. So let me grab that. I thought I had put it here with my tools. Okay. So here it is. Let me just get back on my chair. So here it is. So you see the end, it's got like a hook kind of. So that's the stainless steel part. So the pointy, it's pretty pointy, that part. You can separate the lashes really nicely with it. Okay. And on the other hand, it has a brush and it's all plastic, that part. So you can, it's really hard to tell with the light, but you can disinfect it. Okay. Clean and disinfect it properly and reuse it. So I know in the kits, we've got the orange wood stick, which is single use. I perfected using the orange wood stick. I have no problems with using it to apply the lashes because I use the flatter end to press down the lashes to make sure that the waterline flips over. And then the pointy part of the orange wood stick, I can separate the lashes and do that. So I perfected that because I have to show what's in the kit and how to use it. There's the Y combs that people use as well that they like. And there's also the micro brushes that people use. There's different ones, but RefectoCil stepped up their game and got a beautiful tool to match the rest of our tools with the gold, rose gold, and black theme. So they look really high quality and professional. Okay, you feel like an artist. Awesome. So that's that one. Oh, we can go to the next slide to see a little bit more about that. Sorry. So that's what it looks like. So there you can see what the tool actually looks like. And it's got a super fine tip, so for isolating and separating lashes, so it makes it very easy, and it's made out of stainless steel. The brush part is for grooming lashes and brows, and once again, you can disinfect it. Easy to clean, so you're keeping up with the protocols in your region and so forth. Packaging, it's modern, high quality packaging, and all the eyelash lift kits, when you purchase a kit, are going to have this in it now. From now on, when the kits come out, they're going to have the lifter and no longer the orange wood stick. Okay, so that's exciting. I used it on my last webinar. If you attended, I did use it. So I like the pointy part because I can separate those lashes to the T, like really nicely if they're clumped together. So it makes it easier. Okay, Any questions? Ask away. No worries. I'm going to go now to the next slide, our Brow-ista tool. So you might have seen these. The thing is, why I'm putting it on here, we've had them for a little bit. They're pretty new, but when people see me using them in my webinar, they're like, wait, where can we get those? We like them because they've created, I like using these for the brow lamination and brow tinting because the spoolie part, as you can see in the picture, it's made out of silicone. So once again, it's easy to clean and disinfect. Okay, so and they're really nice with the black and the rose gold theme. As you can see, the whole theme, they just look so slick and professional. And then you've got as well, when we go to the next slide, our sliding artist palette, right? So the nice thing about these ones is it's got two brushes with two different ends. So it's got your flat end and it's got your, as you can see in the picture, there's a flat end and a wide end. Now, these are good to use them for your tinting. You can use them for your application of your lash perm. So obviously the one that's more pointy if you wanted to apply it to the brows to get more precise application. But I like the flat end one. Once again, it's really hard to see in the camera, but you can see in the picture, But let me just pull this out. So the flat end, that's my favorite one to use because on the brows, because when I press it down the brows flat like this, I can create that nice shape of the brow. So I really like this one. And then the pointier end, I like using it for the eyelashes to put the tint. But once again, it's preference, how you feel, how you want to use them, but you can use them for all types of services of brow lamination, lash lifting for the solution, and tinting. Okay, so let's see, there's a question. Do the lift and the curl use the same glue, lash perm? Okay, so that's a good question because we remember at the beginning, we said we have a new glue now that's going to replace both lift and curl glue. So the solutions are the same. So in the perm kit and in the perm kit and in the curl kit, the solutions are the same. They're both the same neutralizer and same lash perm solution. But previously in the kits, there was a clear glue for the lash lift and a white glue for the curl, and you could not intermix them. If you took the curl glue to use it on the lift, it would not work and it would just be a mess. And then you would also have a hard time removing that glue because the curl glue is really hard to dissolve. But now the new peachy glue, it's peachy, is going to replace both glues, which makes it so much easier because I love the way that this dissolves really fast and your removal time is like seconds. So that to answer your question, if right now you purchase a kit and there's a lift kit, it's the white glue, it's the clear glue, that's going to be the old glue. If you purchase the curl kit and it has the white glue, that's going to be the old glue. They still work, but they've been replaced by the peach glue. So another thing would be if you did buy those two kits and they didn't have the peachy glue, I would just buy it just to have it extra to test it out. If you've watched my webinars, I will have a curl webinar as well coming up in April. But if you watch my webinars, you can see how I perfected using the clear glue or the white glue from the curl. Okay, does that answer your question, Leah? And then the last thing is perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Leah. So the last thing is the Brow-ista tool. So this is another thing when I hear from my webinars, people are like, "Whoa, those are so cool. We don't know where to get them." You know, we've had them for a while, but they're pretty new. Once again, same with the brushes. So this is my favorite one because I just love to put it on my hand like that. It's free. I can hold the brow. You know what? And it's not just for tinting. If you want to squeeze your lash perm solutions in there, sure. But in your kit comes this little like round bowls, right? But this artist palette has a line in the middle that shows the 2 centimeter of the tint, just in case for those people that had a hard time understanding like equal parts and they weren't putting enough of the oxidant and so forth. The line in there will show you the amount of tint that you have to put. And all you need to know is that I have to put 10 drops of liquid oxidant or 15 drops of cream oxidant, right? So they're really cool, but the really nice thing is that your hands are free. So if you have to hold the brow, if you're shaping, if you just feel like you want to put tension somewhere, or you know, you don't have to go place the palette down. Sometimes I would place the palette down with the brush and it would like spread the tint spill. So I like this. Okay. So the ring too. The ring I believe is going to be temporary. Like it's not going to be a a continuous product, but this one will be. So who carries them in Ontario? So depending what area you are in Ontario, if you're closer to Mississauga or so forth, we have a couple of distributors that are carrying it, like Nails R Us carry it, I believe Intercosmetic carries it, Your Essentials. So just check in with the distributor, because another thing too, if that's your local distributor you go to, let them know. You know, I attended a webinar, I saw these artist palettes. Are you thinking of bringing them in? And they will reach out to us. They will reach out to our sales reps and they will bring it in. Okay. All the items, the lifter, then so forth. You know, it comes from, it starts from you guys too, right? Because you guys are the professionals. You're the ones that are going to use it. So if you feel this is a product you want to use, reach out to your distributor and let them know, because it's benefits them and it benefits you as well. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. So now we get into questions. These were questions that were sent to me. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat box. Don't worry. Add them in there. Any more questions you have, I'm going to answer all. We have about a half an hour left in the webinar, so I can answer any of your questions. So for this one, for the frequently asked questions, a lot of texts I get or emails I get or phone calls, they want to know if our products are vegan. Okay, so the good thing is the majority of the products, like all the colors, are vegan. Okay, so all but 3 RefectoCil products are vegan, meaning they don't contain any animal-based raw material. And these are your eyelash lift, which is the solutions, right? Which contain hydrolyzed collagen. Well, now it's going to be keratin, so I'm not quite sure if that's going to change. And then you have your protection cream, which contains beeswax, and then you have your care balm, which contains lanolin. Tongue twister. So, but the rest of the products, all the colors, everything is vegan. And then the other most important question, which is for everyone, is, you know, it's no cruelty-free, right? So they do not test their products on animals. Neither is any testing on animals done on their behalf. So we don't allow anybody to conduct animal tests with our products or brands, which is a good thing to know. So there's some questions. Does Colorado Skincare Supply carry all the new products, Lash Curl, Lift Solutions? So Colorado Skincare, I feel mostly they do carry our tints and so forth. I would have to check because that's in the US. But once again, I'll check, reach out to them as well. If you feel that they're not carrying them, you can reach out to me as well. I will share my email and then I can talk to them into bringing it in. We can tell our sales rep to talk to them. Okay. But I think it's mostly the tints and so forth, but doesn't hurt to ask. Can you tell us something about color, pink, blue, purple brows and lashes? So let me just go a little bit up. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anybody. So this is from Katerini. I did do a webinar on custom coloring. When you want to custom coloring, it's also very important to learn how to use the bleach, because a lot of brows, if you want to go to the pinks, to the blues, and you want to really get a nice little pastel color or a light color, if the brows are too dark, you would have to bleach them. So first is learning how to bleach, and then it's learning how to mix these more eccentric colors. And that's where your red and your blue tints come into play with different ratios to create the purples or to create the cotton candy or the rose gold pink. Your blue, you can use it on its own, the blue tint, and it will come out blue on light brows or light lashes. But you can also take the blue and the graphite to create like a steel blue color. So if you check out our RefectoCileEducation.com website, you can watch one of those webinars that I did for custom coloring. As well, on our website, we uploaded, we're still constructing the website, but you can still go in there and access stuff and read stuff. So under color trend or card or whatever it's called, we put a PDF file, and it's going to show you how to mix these colors to create these different colors with the ratios and the time and the bleaching as well. So check out our website and you can download that color trend booklet so that you can start utilizing the full range of RefectoCil colors, you know, and understanding to use your graphite to cool down colors, understanding your red to warm down the cool colors, and so forth. And why, like the red colors, you'll have, if you have somebody that wants red brows, You have to leave that color longer because it takes longer to develop. So that will be all on that color trend. So did that help you a little bit, Katerina? Let me know. Andrew, does this kit include all the tools, brushes, and palettes in it? And how much is it? No, so the kit does not. So the Lash Lift kit will replace the orange wood stick with the new lifter, okay? With that lifter. But I'm not quite sure. I have to check to see if they're going to start putting the Browista tool, the Browista one in there, and the brushes. I have to see if they're going to start putting those in there. I know in the Lash and Brow Bar, I believe they're going to replace the artist palette, the white palette, with this and put the brushes. I don't know how soon, but they will be. But now they are open stock that you can buy. Okay. So hopefully, Andrew, I answered your question for that. And anything for pricing and stuff like that, you'd have to contact your local distributor. If they don't carry the product, you reach out to me and we'll, tell the sales reps to try and get them to bring this product in. So, and I'll have a slide to help you to see what contact information you can reach so that we can assist you. Okay, Andrew, how long does this color last? Your tinting lasts up to 6 weeks, but it varies on the type of people that you work on. If they're oily skin, the tint won't last as long. If they are, gym people, they go to the gym a lot, they sweat a lot, or it's the summer, or they swim a lot, or they use harsh exfoliants or oil products on their face, it's not going to last as long. So, and if you're not using the ratios properly on your end as a professional, it's not going to last as long. So it just depends on the person. So Andrew, are you going to show us the video of how to tint? I'm not doing any demo today. Today was just chatting with you guys and answering any questions you might have. But if you want to see a tinting webinar, I will be having a webinar in March 15th. And we'll be doing a lash lifting and a tinting, but to show how you can elevate your lash services. So join us for that one. But you can watch any tinting videos on our RefectoCileEducation.com website. Okay, today's just chatting, and there's a lot of questions people had, and it was really hard to answer them all during a demo webinar. So this is really why I'm doing a Q&A. Sorry, I missed the first part today. How do I watch again? So Kim, it's going to be uploaded onto RefectoCileEducation.com website as well as our YouTube channel. So no worries. You'll be able to see all the new goodies that we have available. Okay, Katerina, perfect. I just want to make sure I answer everybody's questions. And you, perfect. You're welcome. Roughly how much is the kit in Ontario? So depending what kit you're asking, let me know what kit. So the color swatch, a lot of distributors do carry it inside. I know we carry a little booklet on a ring, but we don't have any in stock anymore, and we're waiting on new artwork. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to do with that, if we're going to have it available for us to print and have it available to purchase. If not, that's why I put the file on our website so you can download the PDF and have it to utilize that tool. Okay. I have 2 clients that the styling gel dry the inner corner. I have 2 clients that the styling gel. What do you mean by that? That the inner corner of their eye gets dry because of it? Just remind. Oh, of their skin. Hold on. I have 2 clients. 1 second. I have 2 clients that the styling gel dry the inner corner of their skin. So you're welcome, Andrew, and you're welcome, Kim. So it's drying. It's not meant to put the styling gel anywhere on the skin. So make sure that when they're applying it, they're not getting too sloppy with it. Use a mascara wand to spread it onto the lashes. And maybe if it touches the skin, dry it, take a Q-tip and clean that area. Brows, if you're using it on brows that's drying out their skin, maybe they're just sensitive to a product. I use it every day in the morning on my lashes and brows, and I haven't experienced that. Just make sure if they're using on their lashes that it stays on the lashes and not go on the skin. So I'm wondering if that will help. On the brows, it's hard because it touches the skin, but I think you're talking about the inner corner of their eye, if I'm correct. Lash lift kit varies about, if you're in Canada, it's about $149.95, about $150 is the kit price. And you can do about 30 applications. So in 1 service, 1.5 service, you'll make that kit back. And you should be able to do over $1,200 of revenue out of that kit. Okay. of the brows. Also, it's the brows that they're finding the inner corner of the skin drying out. So that could be just that their skin chemistry is they're probably too sensitive to it. So what I would suggest, try and do a test for them. Try to have them do a test. Just make sure they put on the brow, but take a Q-tip and clean all around the brow area where where it touches the skin, and see if that will stop it from drying out their skin around their brow. So try and see that. Yeah, otherwise it could be what you call it, sorry. Otherwise it could be just them being sensitive to it. Okay. There's ingredients like D-panthenol in it, D-panthenol and oh shoot, I can't remember the other ingredient. But maybe check and see with them if maybe D-panthenol is something that they might have reactions to. Who knows? What did I do wrong? The brow tint didn't last long on clients. So the first thing that could be wrong is the prep work. Very important that you clean the eye area with our non-oily eye makeup remover, because you have to use a non-oily eye makeup remover. Second step is use a saline to degrease the area, because the saline is going to give you that perfect canvas, like that fresh, untouched canvas. You want it, nothing to be there to interfere with your services. So try that. If you don't use saline, I suggest buy the RefectoCil saline solution and start doing that as your second step. The other thing is, are you not using the correct ratios? So are you not using 2 centimeters? So you have to use 2 centimeters with 50 drops of cream if you're using the cream oxidant, or 10 drops of the liquid oxidant. If you're not getting the ratios correct, that's going to affect it. Now the timing. If you're removing the tint before 3 minutes, you shouldn't, because that 1 and 2 minutes, the color is trying to develop and try to be able to penetrate into the hair follicle. So if you're removing it earlier, you might get some coloring, but in 1 week, it's gone. So, and if it's a client that's just their skin chemistry, they're oily, they swim, they're washing their face too much and they're rubbing their brows when they wash, and they use oil makeup and they're using oil makeup remover, and all that stuff breaks down the surface and doesn't make it last long. So let them know. And after you do a tinting, they shouldn't put any mascara on their lashes or anything on their brows or any oil for 24 hours. And I would also suggest in the shower, just don't take too long of a humidity, like a shower, because the first night that they got the treatment, because that's going to also not help with the pores are still closing, or the follicle still closing. So check that and see. Hopefully those tips helped for you, Kim. Tracy, if a client is using an eyelash and brow growth serum, should they stop before getting tint lift? No, you know what? I thought originally, yes, don't do those things because they can interfere. But the manufacturer said it shouldn't affect the services, right? Because I was having people saying that they weren't getting results, and I'm like, are they using a growth serum? They're like, yeah. And if you're using the protocols appropriately for the lash lift and you weren't getting results, I thought maybe the growth serum was being an issue, especially if they use it that morning, and some of those growth serums can have like rich ingredients. So I just wouldn't use it the 24 hours before the service, I would suggest. But it doesn't, if they're using it and just that 24 hours before the treatment, they stop using it, it's fine. Okay. And they can go back to using it after 24 hours. So before 24 hours and after 24 hours. Okay. If you're trying to get, hey, Terry, welcome, Terry. So if you are trying to get a natural brown, with no red, are you using 3.1 in graphite? Correct. So if their brows are a little bit too light, do the light brown, because the light brown tends to get pretty dark. But yes, you're going to do equal parts of the natural and equal parts of the graphite to cool it down. Awesome. You're very welcome. And thank you for being here today, Terry. So Kim, did I answer your question? Was that Kim? Hold on, let me go back up. Tracy, did I answer your question? Kim, did I answer your question somewhat? Just let me know so I feel like I was helping you guys. Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Terry. So sweet. Thank you so much. Okay, awesome. I'm so glad. So ask more questions, but I'm going to go to the next slide for some other questions that people ask. Now, this is on the blonde brow. So if you have not done any, awesome. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Susie. So if you have not done any bleaching and you're kind of thinking of doing it, I suggest do it. Bring it in, try and do it. Watch my webinars, because a lot of the clientele, and you might agree, you might have a lot of clientele that has the gray, coarse, unruly hair that just doesn't want to take the color. And if you pre-soften it with the bleaching paste, you're going to have a beautiful, even application of the tint. And those clients are going to have that result that's going to last, and not having to be like, well, it didn't cover this gray hair, that gray hair, but it covered the rest of the hair. So this is really, really, really good. So as you can see, it says, is it possible to bleach tinted hair? So only untreated hair should be bleached. So this is very important too. This is a question that I get asked a lot, or I get people calling me and freaking out. So if you did a tinting on the brows and it got too dark, and they're like, oh, I have to bleach, I can bleach them because my client's freaking out because they're too dark. No. If you were to mix the bleach and go and bleach at the same, like you just finished doing the tinting, the client's freaking out, you're freaking out, and you don't know what to do, and you're like, wait, I'm going to use the bleach. You're mixing the bleach with oxidant. That oxidant is going to interact with the tint that's already inside the hair, developed in the hair, and it's going to get darker. So I had to learn that too. We all learn. So don't do that. Don't use the bleach. Just have a tint remover. Be always stocked with tint remover. A lot of people are like, do we have a tint remover? Oh, I didn't know you have a tint remover. And they're sitting scrubbing the client's skin and making it raw because the client is like, whoa, this is too dark, and so forth. So have a tint remover, please, please, please. There's a question for Michelle. Hey, Michelle, I know you. Hey, just saw I won the kit on IG. Just wanted to say thank you, Miss Chel's Aesthetics. You're very welcome, Michelle. That's awesome. Yes, so we will have a contest on this end of this webinar, so please stay for it fully. Okay, so thank you, Michelle. Yes, 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 you are the winner. So yes, Claudia, this is the best. So Claudia, have you used the bleaching paste? Let me know. I love to hear other people's oh, perfect, that's awesome. I love using it. I love using it when I want to take black brows to lighten them. If you're going blonde and your brows are really dark, you can just take, like, can you see the chart? What is the application time? So you can do from 5 to 20 minutes. 3 to 5 minutes is your pre-softening for those gray, but 5 to 20 is when you want to make that total difference in the brow. So the lighter you leave the bleaching on, the longer you leave the bleaching on, the lighter the hair will get, the more predominant, or the more brighter the colors will be. But you can't go past 20 minutes because the bleach keeps working. You know, with the tints, if you mix the tint with the oxidant, it develops up until an hour. But the bleaching keeps working until it dries out, and that can be hours. So you're going to potentially damage your client's brows, lose their client's brows potentially, and they're not going to be happy. And also very good to remove it with our eye makeup remover. Do a wipe with the eye makeup remover, because the eye makeup remover has lash and brow strengthening ingredients in it. So after a stripping, it's going to provide these nutrients and vitamins, and your brows will be healthy. Okay. And I did see Claudia said it's a game changer. Yes, it is. I agree with you. Oh, no, wait. Sorry. Shelby said that. I'm sorry. Shout out to both of you guys. Sorry. Bleaching brows is a game changer. That is so true, Shelby. And Claudia, my mom had a lot of gray hair. My mom too. Every time I would tint them, the grays would just still pop. Like, she had them spread out, like maybe 3 or 4, but you still have to bleach the whole brow. Yes, send pictures. Send us pictures, tag us. You know, I do the Monday features of all you beautiful professionals and all your wonderful work. So yeah, tag us. This changed me the words. So you mean this was like a really good product for you, right, Claudia, to use? Would you charge more for lightening the brows more? Yeah. Okay. So if it's a pre-softening, this is a good question. If it's a pre-softening, I don't usually want to charge, because I've only left it for 3 minutes. I'm okay. Or if you're going to charge, maybe like, $3 to $5. But if you're leaving it for full 20 minutes, you are correct. It is a longer time, and the product on it, like the product and the time. So you can add, but I would just say between 5 to 8. You don't want to go crazy with it, but it's up to you what you're going to charge. But I would just charge $5 to $8 more onto the service. Yes, Shelby. Yes, Claudia. Awesome. That's so good that we have people that are using the bleaching. I love it. That's why I do the webinar, because more people, you know, at the beginning, you're a little bit scared. If you're not a hairstylist, it's really hard to use mixed colors and also bleach. And I wasn't a hairstylist. I'm an esthetician. So I had to learn a lot of stuff through hairstylists to understand how to use bleachings and the concept of bleaching and color mixing and creating colors. All right. Awesome. This is awesome. Great. So ask questions again. I'm going to go to the next slide. So if you have questions, ask. Can you do lash extensions immediately after lash tinting, or is there a wait time? So a lot of people will tint the lashes on really, really blonde hairs so that they can see them when they're doing the lash extension services. But you should wait 24 hours. So when you did the tinting, wait 24 hours before you go and do your what do you call it? Your eyelash extension. Sorry, I blanked out. So wait 24 hours because the glues and so forth, you want to have that 24-hour period to pass. But when you're doing a perming or a lifting, like, I mean, not perming, I should change that wording, a curling or a lifting or a brow lamination, you can tint right away. You don't need to wait. Okay. So that was another question that was sent to me. Once again, if there's no questions in the chat, I'm going to go with this. How long should I leave the eyebrow tint on? So once again, this is very, very important because it depends on, it varies from person to person. It varies from the level of darkness they want or don't want, you know, the more dramatic, more natural, the hair structure of each individual, if it's thicker, if it's, you know, it's going to require more time to penetrate. But the minimum application time is 3 minutes. Remember how I said nothing before that remove because you're not going to have a long-lasting tint for your client to wear. Okay, so you start at 3 minutes. So for those clients that are like freaking out and panicking, you can at 3 minutes remove it, show it to them, remove one brow, show it to them. And they're like, okay, fine, you can leave it for another minute or two. You put back the tint and you leave it. So always engage your client, always show your client, because it's surprising how many calls I get. And if I'm not able to answer right away, the professional's panicking. I have a client right now, she's freaking out that the tint's too dark and I don't know what to do and I can't soften it, I can't lighten it. So doing that removal of the one brow and checking to see how it is at 3 minutes is going to save you that headache or that panic or that anxiety because your client's getting a panic. Okay. Red shades, as we mentioned, do take much longer. Okay. It says 20 minutes, but it varies, but 10 minutes is really, you'll start seeing it showing. Okay. With chestnut, 10 minutes is good enough. Chestnut on its own, the color is really beautiful, but like we said, you might have to leave it longer to develop. That 3 minutes, you probably wouldn't see that nice warmth of that brownish red. Okay. Tip for the beginners, as I mentioned, there we go. Tip for the beginners, remove the tinting paste from one eyebrow after 2 to 3 minutes and check the results and show the client. If the tinting result is not intense enough yet, apply the tinting again, paste again. Easy peasy, and you can have a happy customer. Okay. I go from light to dark. So meaning your brows, or you do the ombre brow, light at the beginning and then darker on the end. For first-time clients, I always find removing at 3 makes them feel better. They always end up going darker, but it's easier not going from 0 to 100. Exactly. That's so true, Michelle. So especially if it's going to be a new client that's actually testing this out and be like, you know, I heard, you know, you have your big demographic is those people who want to look natural. So looking natural doesn't necessarily mean you have to leave it less time or long time, but you have to find the balance of keeping it natural, because if you leave it on too long and it gets too aggressive, the color, it won't be looking natural and it'll be too pigmented for the client and they won't be happy if they're looking for that natural look. So always start your base time, at 3 minutes, especially for new clients. Once you have your client that comes back to you, you have your notes. You've realized what time what timing they like. You know what shade they want, what darkness, level, degree, and so forth. Okay. How long can the tint paste last? Meaning in the bottle, once you've opened the tube, 12 months. If it's closed and sealed, they last about 2 to 3 years. But when it's open, people like, I always teach in classes to mark your bottles when you've opened it, just to help you know when it's time to change them up. But your browns, your blue blacks, they're going to last less because of the more that you use. Oh, no, when you mix. Oh, how long is the tint paste going to last when you mix? You mean what, before it starts to oxidize and you should use it right away? Is that where you're asking? Because, okay, technically you should start using it right away, but I did a test where I mixed it, put it on the side, prepped my client, and then used it, and it was fine. Because remember, it still activates past the half an hour, so it's okay. But don't leave it prolonged oxidizing, okay, in the air. You want to get it onto the hair. Did I answer your question, Kim? I hope so. Okay. Next question that I had here. How do you know how do I know which eyebrow color? You're welcome. Color suits the client best. Well, it should always match your client's skin type. So and reflect an aspect of the hair color. So if they're warm tone, cool tone, and also try to match the hair color. So it helps. But now with more extravagant looks and so forth, you become more like artistic with it. And some clients are like, just go crazy with it, go wild. I want more contrast brows, right? So it's all about talking and consulting with your client. So my client's natural eyebrow color is black. She'd like to have them lighten. Is this possible? Yes. And you can just put the bleaching paste on for 5 minutes, remove it, and they can just walk out because it lightened it nicely to a lighter brown or so forth. Okay. Patch tests are very important. Should I perform an allergy test? You know me when I teach my webinars, how important patch tests are. So 48 hours. Here it says 72, but if you do it 48 hours, you're good. So get your client in prior to the service, specifically 48 hours. Do a consultation with them. Discuss what look they want, what you're going to do the service, do the patch test. Mix, like if you're going to do your glues, like your lift, put the glue on one spot, put the perm neutralizer in one spot, put the neutralizer in one spot, put the lash tint with oxidant mix on another spot, do your consultation, let it dry out on them. They go home. If they don't call you in 48 hours, and it's fine, you should be calling them in 48 hours. If they call you before 48 hours, they've had a reaction, then you know you can't proceed with the service. If 48 hours have reached and nobody has called you, you call them, you see how they're doing, everything's good, they come in for their treatment. Okay? Very, very important to do a patch test and consultation. Any questions on lifting, how to choose the right pad size? You know, you have 3 sizes. Your hair has to cover the bump of the pad. Okay? Many people have called me recently, actually, and told me that I've overlifted. They're overlifted. And the thing is, you have to understand is when the lash is dry, when they go home, they'll see more of a lifting, more of a curling. So don't necessarily have to be like, I'm going to go to the more smallest pad size because I want them to have results. It doesn't work that way because then you're going to do an overlift or over curl and the client's not going to like it. They're going to have a hard time putting mascara. They're going to have a hard time. Those lashes are not going to look aesthetically pleasing. Okay. Do you have to do it every time? I think the package says yes. So, okay, patch test, right? Your first client your first client ever you get for any of the services, yes. If you have a continual client that comes for tinting, no, every 6 months do it. But say that tinting client is like, oh, now I want to do a lash lift on my lash, then you have to do a patch test for the lifting products. So any new service that they try, you have to do a patch test. Any new client, even if they were going to somebody else, your proper care for your client, you got to do a patch test because you got to know, you got to take all that data for yourself now because that client's coming to you now. Okay, does that answer your question, Tracy? Oh, this is a question I got a lot. I want to shape and tint lashes. Which application should I perform first? First, you shape, as you can see in the picture. Perfect, Tracy. Thank you. First, you do the shaping. So if it's a lift, then you do the tinting. Okay? Because if you see here, if you tint first, there's a risk that the eyelash curl or lift is extracting the tint and you have to dye a second time, which is not damaging for the hair, but it's time consuming. Remember, these services are easy add-ons and they're quick to do. and they're, you know, if somebody wants to come during their 1 hour break and get it done, you want to be able to complete that for them, right? So shape first, then tint. And if you're waxing, the waxing is always done at the end. So if you're going to tint first and you're going to lift the brows first, we're talking about brow shaping. So brow lamination first. And if you're going to do bleaching, then tinting, then shaping. Okay. So that's all the questions I had asked for me. And I put them on a PowerPoint. So hopefully that helped you guys as well. If you have any more questions, ask away. We still have a couple of minutes. Are most of you charging a total price for brow lamination and waxing? So you try to do, okay, so brow lamination on its own can cost you between, you know, $75 to $95, okay? But if you always want to upsell. You want to do a combo. You want to tint afterwards and you want to shape afterwards. So you can do a combo pricings where you take each of your individual pricing of each of those services, you put it together and you give them about a $10 savings. Okay. Because that they didn't cut. Now by upselling, by telling them these other services, they're not only coming in for a $75 service. Now they're coming in for almost a $200 service. Okay, so let's see what everybody else said. I've always done tinting after, but also worry that tinting after will lessen the effect of their curling. It doesn't. It won't lessen the effect. Just don't overly. So what I've learned now, and it's never really affected my results. They were amazing, but I don't tend to put now, I lessen the amount of tint I put on the lashes. I make sure that I saturate it. But what I do as well is I go underneath and I put the tint and I lift up. So I try to go to the form of the lash too. And it doesn't affect it. I never had anybody complain that their lashes went down after the service, but just control, just make sure you go to the direction of the hair. So you're putting the tint on top, but then put it on bottom and roll the lashes back up. Okay. So Susie, did I help you with your question? The pricing? Leah, perfect. Yes, yeah. Because I don't know if you've watched my past webinars, I was always putting a lot because I want them to penetrate to the bottom. But I found as I'm lifting the underneath the lashes too, I'm getting those bottom lashes too with their eyes closed. But I'm also bringing the shape still to stay like that. Because remember, the product is still moving working during that time, right? Yeah. Okay, so win-win-win. Remember I told you we're going to do a contest. Oh, you're not charging enough, Susie. Okay, yeah. So, but also it depends on your demographics and where you're located. Because when I suggest to people, oh, you can charge between 75 to 95 bucks, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't charge my clients that much. So that they'll take the base of 75 because it depends where you are located and what your clients are willing to pay. Because if you overdo it, then they're going to leave and go somewhere else, and you don't want to lose that client loyalty. So that's why we give a range to suggest between your, some people will go up to 200, but even 150 for a complete brow package of lifting, tinting, and shaping, that's pretty good. Okay. So how to win-win-win. So you want to win the following items to perform services like a proud browista with style. Remember, you've got the brushes, you got the artist palette, and now we're going to throw in the eye care pads. Maybe you're going to try them for yourself and see, or you can try that on one of your client and see what they say. Reviews from your client will help you to know to bring in the product. Okay. So what you got to do, follow us on Instagram if you're not following us already. So follow us on Instagram at RefectoCil North America, Browista by RefectoCil. Like us on Facebook, leave us a review. Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome. I spent one night laying in bed reading your beautiful, beautiful reviews. I appreciate it. I try to like it back. I try to share your reviews on our Instagram because this is what makes us know that, you know, my webinars are going good. Our service is going good for you. Our team is, you know, helping the product you're happy with. So yeah. Keep on giving those reviews. Post on Instagram why you love RefectoCil, or even just the webinar. If you want to post, say something about the webinar. Some people take pictures of the webinar, post it, and say. But what I forgot to mention in here is it's not called brow lamination webinar. I'm so sorry. The hashtag, when you do a post, and I know that you did a post to enter the contest, use the hashtag Q&A webinar. RefectoCil Q&A webinar. I'm going to type this in here. RefectoCil Q&A webinar. I'm going to type this in here. 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 RefectoCil Q. Oh my gosh, my computer's so far away. Q&A webinar. That's what your hashtag should be, okay? Hashtag, because then I know you entered the contest, right? Because it's only fair for those that came to the webinar to be entered to the contest, okay? But please do it. And then like today, like how Michelle said, I did a little live post. I generated all the names and it picked it for me. And you get to win these freebies, okay? So, and the contest ends March 14th and we'll announce it. So remember, the hashtag is, what did I say? RefectoCil Q&A webinar, okay? I have some questions. I suggest to look at what other salons in the area. Yes, that's a good question too. Your competition, right? You want to see what they are offering as well. And if you attend that webinar that I'm going to do on elevating your lash services, who knows, maybe the competitor salon might be too attending, but this is a way to set yourself differently and up value your services by learning like how to utilize these care products as well. Okay. Do you shorten the lash tinting time with a lift? Yes, you do. So your lash lifting, when you do a lash lift or a brow lift, so lash lift first. If you're gonna do a lash lift and tint, afterwards, it's going to be 2 minutes on the lashes, 3 minutes on the brows, okay? So any lift or curl on the lashes, 2 minutes of tint, and then on the brows, 3 minutes. Now, if you feel like you got to leave a little bit longer because you're working with layered lashes and so forth, you can add another minute or so. It's fine. Okay. But the point is that the hair follicle is open. It's going to take that color right away. Okay. It's going to grasp. It's going to suck that color in quickly. And the last slide I have is the stocking. We want you to stock us. So remember, we have the RefectoCil North America, Browista by RefectoCil on our Instagram. So the Browista by RefectoCil is the one that is like pertaining me as an educator. I also put some posts on there on infection control because I am an infection control specialist. Also like us on Facebook, RefectoCil North America, review us. I mentioned this. Visit our educational website. This is the website I said for the color trend booklet that you can download to learn how to do all those cool colors. So RefectoCilEducation.com. Once again, this webinar will be put on there. So there was somebody who had mentioned that they didn't see the beginning. Don't worry. We're going to put it up on the website. And if you go check now, you'll see we have a products page. You can see all the products that RefectoCil has. You can see the new products that we have. You can see my upcoming webinars and you can register for them straight through the website. We have a calendar on the educational site, website on the tab says education. For people who really want to have a certificate, I'm working alongside and partnering with all the distributors to offer certificate classes. Obviously, there's a fee to these, but they're not crazy, the fee. They're good enough, with COVID, with the pandemic, we know budget, financing is a little hard. So they're not crazy, the classes, but you get to be certified. You get to have a certificate, show it to your insurance, show it to your clients that you've done this training and you're going to take care of them with care and be able to give them wonderful brows and lashes. So on that calendar, we put our upcoming distributor classes as well. So that are the paid ones with certificate. Okay. And then any questions? I love getting emails, even if it's just to be like, Chrissie, thank you so much. And this so forth. When I get a chance, I love reading them and I love to respond back and thank you as well for your support. So that's education@cbongroup.com. Okay. So that was today's Q&A. Hopefully whatever questions you had were answered. I want to try and go on live because for example, if Michelle wanted to join on with me and we talk about how much she likes RefectoCil or even about her prize, just like that, we can chat amongst the people can see it, put a face to you guys as well, the professionals that are working with RefectoCil. Thank you, Susie, and thank you for your questions too, and Kim and everyone else, and Daniela. I can't remember all the names, sorry. My memory is a little shot, but Katerina, Anne, Ashley, Bonnie, Carol, Claudia, Darlene, Kim. I'm running out of where to see the names. Leah. Thank you, everybody. Oh, thank you, Michelle. I appreciate it. You guys, and Rita. I know that name too. I remember that name. Rajeshri, if I'm saying it right. Marilli, I know that name too. I can't find it on Facebook. Which one? What can't you find on Facebook? Our page? It's RefectoCil North America. But thank you, everybody. I really appreciate your support, and it keeps us going through this keeps us, like as I said, we're a community. It keeps us going through the pandemic. All these new services, you know, you can add on when you go back to work, right? You can have these new quick services to offer. I have a lot of people who are just getting into tinting too. So quick, easy services to start putting in your service menu. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you all. You're very welcome. Darlene, thank you. Marily, it's RefectoCil North America. Put it all together, and then you can find it on Facebook. Okay? Hopefully you'll find it. So please, please, please enter the contest. Let me just go back up on that slide. I love to do like the whole, like getting your names and getting to see what you do. Even if it's just a post of yourself holding the product, even if it's just a post of me on this webinar, even if it's just you just putting a product shot, taking a picture of a product shot of RefectoCil, make sure you tag Q&A, RefectoCil Q&A webinar, because I'd love you guys to win some of these products really easy like that. And that helps me to post you guys on our stories as well. Gets your acknowledgement out there. People can see your work that you do with RefectoCil as well. Okay. So I really, really, really appreciate the support. And to that, have a good afternoon or morning, rest of your morning, or it's probably afternoon now. Thank you, Anne. I appreciate it. Anything I can do to help, I'm here. And I love doing these webinars and having your guys' support as well. Okay? Yes, and have a good weekend. Thank you for reminding me, Susie. It's Friday. Happy Friday. Okay, so on that note, good afternoon. Au revoir. I don't think we had any French people here. But bye. Have a good afternoon.